Hey everyone, Absolute DC is a huge hit. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman have come in style, and their origins have been reimagined in a fresh way compared to the classic stories we know. So far, these three are the only heroes whose comics have been released, but today's question is, which Absolute is the best? Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, or Absolute Superman? Let's break down the pros and cons of each to figure out which one had the best first issue, so stay tuned. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. Absolute DC is the new universe created through Darkseid's energy, known as the Omega Universe. Right now, DC has locked up the multiverse and is focusing on two concepts. The Alpha Universe is the main Earth in DC's timeline, where we have the traditional stories of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and so on. On the other hand, the Omega Universe is the Absolute we're exploring now, where the heroes must prove their worth to be worthy of the mantles of the great heroes everyone knows. It's a pretty complicated universe, filled with strife, but heroes still emerge and there are a lot of good themes being explored in the stories. Now, let's analyze every detail of the Trinity comics, and make sure to hit that absolute like button on the video and subscribe to the channel so more people can find this video and you can get quality content every day. Thank you, and let's get into the subject. First off, let's look at the main changes each of the three has undergone. Superman didn't come to Earth as a baby, he was born and raised on Krypton, at least during his early years. Kal-El lived with his parents Jor-El and Lara Lorvan in a Krypton dominated by cities, where the clerics set the rules and belong to the upper class, while Jor-El and Lara are part of the working class, the people of Steel. This is the opposite of the main universe, where Jor-El was a part of the scientific community but was ignored when he warned about Krypton's impending destruction. Additionally, the symbol on Superman's chest in the regular universe represents the House of El, a symbol of hope. In the Absolute Universe, the S signifies the working class, the people of Steel. Now moving on to our beloved Dark Knight, Batman has seen significant changes compared to the Alpha Universe. Bruce isn't a billionaire playboy, he's an engineer who grew up in a crime alley. His mother, Martha, works as a social worker and his father was a teacher who lost his life during an incident at the zoo while he was on a field trip with his students. Bruce was one of the students and witnessed his father's death. Absolute Batman is brutal, with a fully functional suit. His ears are the iconic batarangs, his symbol is part of a controversial axe, and his cape has multiple functions, plus it features retractable spikes. He's definitely a well-equipped Batman. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, has gone through significant changes in her origin story, and I have to say it's one of my favorites. The Amazons were banished and punished by the gods for crimes against them, and baby Diana was sent to hell by Apollo and handed over to the witch Circe. Over the years, Circe grew fond of the Amazon princess and taught her everything. In addition to being an Amazon warrior, Absolute Wonder Woman also wields magic, has a skeletal Pegasus, and a giant sword that seems straight out of Final Fantasy. She's seriously overpowered, and the first issue puts her in some intriguing situations that promise stories with a vibe of Diana vs. Olympus, much like God of War. From the get-go, we can see that all three characters have faced struggles from the start and continue to do so. The interesting aspect of this Absolute Universe is how Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, despite all this background, remain fundamentally similar to the Trinity in DC's main universe. What's essential to the three of them has stayed rooted. I think that's fascinating because it would be easy for them to be totally distorted versions, like anti-heroes instead of heroes, and I feel the artists involved are careful to present something a bit different without veering into the obvious, like a dictator Superman, a Batman who kills criminals, or even Diana not fulfilling her role as an ambassador of peace. Although we're still at the beginning of these heroes' journeys, what we've seen so far is promising and has the potential for even greater success, as long as the quality of the stories holds up or improves over time. Speaking of Superman, I appreciated how the stories handled the background regarding Krypton and how he's aware of his planet's fate while watching Earth repeat the same mistakes. It's interesting to see him wanting to prevent another planet he lives on from ending up destroyed in the same way. You can imagine he'll do everything in his power to stop that from happening. As of the first issue, we know Kal-El is a lonely guy. He doesn't have the Kents in his life, and at the time of releasing this video, we don't even know if he's had a human name. Plus, he doesn't have a fortress of solitude, and we're left wondering if he'll have someone significant like Lois Lane as to Superman in the main universe. Every moment he spends on Earth during the first issue, particularly in Brazil, is quite fascinating. The comparisons drawn between Earth and Krypton were cool, but in my opinion, we still need to learn more about him for me to enjoy it more. I liked Absolute Superman. The story and artwork are engaging, but I feel like it's missing something to reach the level of Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman. My opinion may change as we go through the issues, but out of the three, Absolute Superman was the weakest so far. Now, moving on to Wonder Woman, I want to say I loved her story. Diana's journey presented here was super cool, capturing that humans versus gods vibe with epic tales and all. I really enjoyed the first issue, and among the three, it was my favorite story. It was an emotionally charged tale where, in just a few pages, you see Diana grow up alongside Cersei, feeling the need to fight for something. Her saying the word Amazon without knowing its meaning, but sensing it should be said, was truly touching. And now onto Batman, I'd say he's the character that brought the most innovations. The changes in him aren't just about him not being a billionaire, the entire background and supporting characters are different from the ones everyone knows from Earth's mainland stories. This Batman is tough as nails. The story is great, showing Bruce's past while unfolding the current narrative, and the artwork in this comic is gorgeous. All three titles boast beautiful art, but without a doubt, Absolute Batman has the best artwork. The transition from flashback to present time is seamless, with the colors playing a crucial role in that shift, and many panels in this comic are genuine works of art. Just look at Batman in his suit against the sunset, it's stunning. I appreciate Scott Snyder's work on the New 52 and other Batman comics he's written, but Absolute Batman is really impressive. If the quality of the story stays high, it'll be Snyder's best work, in my opinion. From my perspective, Absolute Batman has introduced the most innovations across the board, and while I enjoyed Wonder Woman's story, we had exciting and emotional moments with her. Absolute Batman had the best start when looking at the overall context. Despite Batman being my favorite so far, I genuinely liked all three stories. The Absolute DC comics could be a great entry point for newcomers wanting to start reading, and for those who already read, these stories offer something fresh and promising to follow. To learn more about the Absolute DC universe, check out our affiliate links in the description of this video and grab the Kindle editions of Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and Absolute Superman. They're excellent recommendations for anyone looking to start reading comics without having to dive into a ton of backstory, marking the beginning of a new universe for DC. Now, I want to hear your opinion. Which of the three Absolutes did you like the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications so you stay updated on all things DC and Marvel. Also, I recommend checking out our reviews on each of these Absolute DC editions. Just take a look at the playlist that's appearing on your screen. Thanks so much, and see you in the next video.